If everyone would rise and do the Pledge of Allegiance together, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening and welcome. A few items to mention. If you could silence these cell phones. Our meetings are public and recorded. This is a business meeting, so we ask everyone to conduct themselves in a professional manner. Our city code allows for public comment up to 3 minutes. And for best sound quality, please remember to pull these microphones down and lean into them to speak. So with that, we'll get things rolling here. We'll call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. and we'll start with roll call.
Alderperson Schwarzkopf.
Here.
Alderperson Gebert.
Here.
Alderperson Reinecker.
Here.
Alderperson Honeybutt.
Here.
Alderperson Demond.
Here.
Alderperson Nevoy is absent. Alderperson Dojan.
Here.
And Alderperson Peel.
Here.
Okay. First item of business, I will call for a motion to approve the financial statements.
So move. Second.
Okay, we have motion and a second. Any further discussion on that? Roll call voting. This starts with Schwarzkopf.
Hey. 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 Hey.
Okay, motion carries. Next item up, I will call for a motion to approve the estimated and listed bills in your packets.
So move. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on that? Then we will have roll call vote that starts with Gebert.
Hey. 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 Hey.
Motion carries. Is there consideration of any other bills? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to correspondence, public and guest comments. Okay, hearing none, then we will move on to the consent agenda. We have items A through Q in our consent agenda tonight. Does anyone want anything pulled out separately for discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
So move. Second.
Okay, we have motion and a second. Any further discussion on that? Roll call voting starts with Reinecker.
Hey. 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 Hey.
Motion carries. Okay, on to reports. First up is Finance Committee. There are no maturing CDs, so we'll move on. Is there any Personnel Committee items?
Nothing, Mayor.
Okay, Public Health and Safety is up next.
We have one item. We have a training request for Nick Reinhardt for a, what is it? New detective, a new criminal investigator. It's in, oh, well, that's too easy. It's in Urbana, Illinois, October 14, 15, 16. 3 days, $325 registration. And we would have to do lodging and mileage and meals. You got anything you want to elaborate on it, any, John?
No, it's just basically have Nick to back up Tyler when Tyler needs help, and Nick needs some training, and it's just gonna be a good training for him, kind of prepare him to move forward.
Okay. I'll make a motion. We send Nick Reinhardt to this training.
Second.
Okay, we have motion and a second for the training for Nick Reinhardt. Any further discussion on that? Roll call voting starts with Honeybutt.
Hey.
Hey. Hey. Hey. Hey. Hey.
Hey,
Okay, motion carries. Is that all from your area, Bill?
that's it. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. Next up is Public Works.
In Public Works, got the utility rate study. I'd let Josh kind of talk about it real quick.
Yeah, as I said in the email, and what we kind of talked about in the past, I put in a budgeted figure for 35,000 for this. Talked to Highland, I know Brian Growth in Naperville uses it. Freeburg just recently used the same company, but they went through BHMG. When I got my proposal, I said I put that in an email. So going straight to the company could save us a little bit, but it's mainly to kind of look at, we haven't done anything with the electric rates since 2011. And with the push for solar and everything else, it's kind of been recommended that we kind of look at having some demand rate class built in for some of the commercial users and things like that to kind of help recoup some costs on that. So you can kind of have some of that. So it's mainly to look at where we're at with the rates. Do we need other rate classes if we need to change the user fees or the usage fees or, just kind of where everything's at, they kind of take an in-depth look at it. So
Any? Anybody questions? Comments?
So, I mean, I guess bottom line, what we expect to get out of this is just if we need to add to what we currently have. is-
right, it'll update what we have or change some of the stuff that we currently have. So, it could change the user fees for the residential. It could change the usage rate for the different rate classes, but then maybe also set up rate classes for like demand charges. I know that's what happened. I think in Freeburg, they were adding some of that stuff in as well. Highland, I know they do theirs, every so often. So.
Okay.
Just something to look at, trying just to see where we're at, make sure
So we're
that
not looking just at rates, we're looking at,
it's the rate structures themselves
Structure.
and, and everything else, correct?
okay.
Any other comments? If not, I'd like to make a motion. We approve the utility rate studies not to exceed 35.
Well, it's
It's-
estimated at 22, but I said if you want to do 27,
Okay,
27.5, just in case there is a few extras.
so we,
I did budget 35, so. but-
okay. So we make a motion to approve the rate study not to exceed 27.5.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for their utility rate studies not to exceed $27,500. Any further discussion on that? Okay, hearing none, roll call starts with Demond.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey,
Motion carries.
Next item is approval to apply for the Illinois Transportation Enhancement Program.
I'll let Jill.
So this was a grant that we were recently made aware of. After looking into it, we have to be sponsored by SIMPAC. And at this point, they're still restructuring. They're not going to be able to provide the financial backing, because even though we would provide the match, they would have to pay it through their account. So they're just not prepared to do that at this time because they've just switched over new directors and they're trying to restructure. So
Basically, no action.
no action.
Okay. That should do it for Public Works.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything from zoning?
No, Mayor.
Okay, then we'll move on to cultural committee with a few items.
First thing is the Redwood Fire Department's request to close Orange Street for a meat shoot. It would be between Veteran Street and Orange and East Pine on 9/29 between 11 and 8 p.m. And they also want request for the chief of police to do a site inspection also. So I make a motion that we accept.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the Redwood Fire Department to close Orange Street, designated times on 9/29. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, roll call vote starts with Dojon.
Hey.
Hey,
hey,
Motion carries.
And then Burmeister Auction Service requests to close South Oak Street for Beverly Cal's auction at 716 Locust on September 29th. They're expecting between 7 a.m. to maybe 3 p.m. So I'd like to make a motion. We accept that.
second,
Okay, we have a motion and a second for Burmeister Auction Service to close South Oak Street, designated times on September 29th. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, we'll kick off voting with Peel.
Hey.
hey,
hey,
Motion carries.
The Redwood Area Museum would like to request and sell donuts at the four-way stop on September 28th from 7:30 to 10 a.m. I'd like to make a motion. We accept that also.
second,
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the Redwood Area Museum to sell donuts on the 28th of September. Any further discussion on that? Roll call voting starts with Schwarzkopf.
hey,
Hey.
Motion carries.
The Redwood Lions Club requests to collect at the four-way stop on October 4th from 2 to 6 p.m. and October 5th from 8 to 12 a.m., 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'd like to make a motion. We accept them.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the Redwood Lions Club to collect on October 4th and 5th designated times. Any further discussion on that? Roll call voting with Gebert.
hey,
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 Motion carries.
and then one last item, I'll let Jill speak to it, but the website vendor.
So I went through, you guys had some questions about just additional things. I've emailed all that out to you, regarding, what other people say about them. Everybody that we talked to raved about all of them. I don't think there's going to be a bad decision here, quite frankly. Everyone was happy with their work and what they've done. For what we would like to move forward, I would like to propose going with 618 Creative, just because they're the ones that can offer us everything on the breakdown of all the different logo rebrand websites. They're here, they're a local person, works for that company, and they're available to us during business hours to get this up and running.
Do you have a total?
It would be not to exceed 11,000.
And I know the other one we were considering Westfield, which I know had great reviews also, but a lot of the things that were on his list were additional costs that
Yes.
they would have to be outsourced. So that would maybe make this one a better bargain for us, I think.
I think in the long run, it's gonna be your one-stop shop to get it all done together.
Okay.
Just a question, Jill, did you budget for that this year?
There's actually a lot of different line items that we could do. I had Liz look at the financials. We have money in the budget, especially if we would even spread it out to all the different departments, because, as you guys saw, utilities was a big factor of the website. So we could pull money from there. There's a couple other different options.
Well, I was wondering if you considered the hotel motel tax. I know we talked about
We
that.
can do that as well.
Do we need to designate that?
Probably not until the actual bill would come in and we make sure it's coded correctly. I mean,
I mean, does that need to be part of the vote, I guess, if we sell?
I don't
if we
think it
use
does.
hotel,
You've got
motel?
more,
So
you've got more finance experience than the rest of us here.
I don't think it needs to be part of the vote unless you're all, determined that it should come out of hotel and motel taxes. And if you want it, and that can be done at the time when the bill's approved.
Okay. I guess my question is, we can spend that money without a vote of the council.
Correct.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes,
as long as it
yes.
follows the guidelines of the
Okay.
state, yeah.
Okay.
So then I guess I would entertain a motion not to exceed $11,000 with the option of using the hotel motel tax if available.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to choose 618 Creative as our website vendor, not to exceed 11K. Preferably using the hotel motel tax to cover the invoicing. Any further discussion on that? Okay, roll call voting with Reiniger.
Hey.
Hey.
Yay.
Hey,
Motion carries. I believe that's all you've got then?
Yep,
Okay.
that's all I have.
Recreational facilities, anything?
Nothing.
It looks like there's nothing from executive session at this point. Planning Commission, looks like you have an item.
Yep, just one item. Want to appoint Matt Wagner to the Planning Commission Board. I would like to make a motion to accept Matt Wagner onto the Planning Commission Board.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the appointment of Matt Wagner to the Planning Commission Board. Any further discussion on that? Roll call with Hanabit.
Hey.
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 hey,
Hey.
Motion carries. Is there anything from Economic Development, Mike?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Parks and Rec, anything you want to share with us, Kyle?
We have a meeting tomorrow evening at Rats Park.
Okay. So with that, we'll move into old business, nothing there. On to new business, review of the September calendar. As you just mentioned, Kyle, Parks and Rec meeting at 6 o'clock tomorrow night at Rats Park, Pavilion 4. Library Board meets on the 12th. We are back here on the 16th for committee meetings. Planning Commission's here on the 17th. And then on the 24th is our public comprehensive plan workshop. 5:30, there's a little bit of a meet and greet, some sandwiches. 6 to 8 is the presentation. There is an RSVP system set up by phone or QR code. So just note those things in your calendar. Any changes or additions, subtractions, adjustments? Okay, that's the calendar. Are there any other comments? Okay, hearing none. I can call for a motion to adjourn.
So move. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No one's opposed. Motion carries. We stand adjourned at 6:14 PM.